Okay, I have something interesting to show you today. In fact, we just need 10 cards for what we're going to do. So why don't we mix up the cards, sufficiently here. Okay, we'll give it a few shuffles there. Maybe one more for a good measure. Okay, very good. Very, very good. Okay, so since we need just 10 cards, I thought a fun way to get those cards would be to do what's called a Klondike Shuffle. This is where you take the top and bottom cards off as one. So that's a second pair, third, fourth, and fifth. Okay, so now we have 10 cards to work with. We can give it a Charlier shuffle. In fact, if you were here, you could randomly cut the cards at any location. Now what we're going to do to mix these cards in a way that will scramble them thoroughly, we're going to perform a down-under or under-down, okay? And since that kind of shuffle can take a long time, why don't we do a 50% one? So we'll just do it for half of them. So would you like a down-under or under-down? Down-under. Okay, so down, under, down, under, down, under, down, under, down. Okay, so that's half of them, right? Drop the rest on top. From here we could Klondike pairs of cards kind of randomly to the table. And how would you like these stacked? Which one first? Top right, bottom left, top center, top left, and then the one in at the bottom. Okay, very good. We can give this a Charlier shuffle, or if you were here, just randomly cut the cards. That would be just fine. Why don't we do one more down, under, or under, down? Your choice, really. And so maybe the spectator will ask for an under, down this time. So you go under, down, under, down, down, under, down, under, down. I think that's half. Drop the rest on top. Okay. And then to finish, I think we'll do just one more Klondike shuffle because it does such an amazing job mixing the cards. And then from here, we'll give it a Charlier shuffle. And then we'll have you cut the cards wherever you would like that. And now I think what we'll do is we'll finish with a really nice way of mixing the cards. It's called the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Now a note to you as a performer, I'll mention this in the tutorial, you may or may not need to do this. Okay, so just be aware of that, and I'll explain when you would. But how this works is you begin dealing the cards out until the spectator says stop. And then you deal out into a new pile and until they say stop. Okay, stop there. Okay. Okay, very good. So it's called the first shall be last and the last shall be first because the last piles dealt out are the first ones to pick up. Okay, so that's how that works. And from here, we'll just deal out the cards into two piles, one for you and one for me. And try not to go off the camera view. Okay, well, let's just see what set of 5 cards you were dealt. Okay, you got a 5. Oh, that's good. You got a pair. Okay. Okay, you got a pair so far. Oh boy. Okay, so not a lot happening there. Well, how did I do? Let's see, that's pretty good. Whoa. No way. No way! I got a royal flush and clubs? How in the world did your choices lead to such a wonderful outcome for me and such a bad outcome for you? I really am sorry for you here, but you really made all of the key choices that led to this final result. Okay. Okay, so how is this done? Well, it's quite simple, actually. So what I did was I had the royal flush and clubs at the bottom of the deck, okay? And it's not too hard to retain 5 cards at the bottom, okay? So what it means, you need to have at least 5 cards on the left fall before you begin riffle shuffling, okay? So this you may just want to practice a little bit. Just make sure you have enough fall. That one didn't sound very good. Let's try that again. Okay. Now I don't know if I retained them or not. Let's see, how did I do? Oh, looks like I did. Okay, so they're safe at the bottom. do you remember what I did next? I just Klondike 5 pairs to the table. So what that will do is it'll put the royal flush and clubs in an alternating relationship with 5 other cards from the top. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, I think that's all of them. Okay, so we have 10 cards. Let me just show you that. Okay, and so right here you can see the royal flush is alternating with these 5 other random cards. Okay, so because this is cyclic, you can perform a Charlier shuffle or random cuts. I can provide a link to the Charlier shuffle if you want to learn that one. It's a very powerful one. And then we gave you an option of a down under or under down. Now anyone who's familiar with those shuffles will know that they are very different in what they do to the packet. And to cut down the tedium, I've dropped it to a 50% down under or under down. But you can perform either one. They both work great. So maybe you will do under, down, under, down, under, down, under, down, under, down. Now, if you just give it a moment's thought, you'll realize that you're pulling your royal flush apart from the other cards. That's all you're doing. They were interlaced perfectly, alternating, and now you've pulled them apart. Okay, that's fine. Now, to kind of put them back into pairs, what I did was I Klondike pairs to the table. Now this is really powerful because you're going to allow the spectator to pick these up in whatever order they would like. And it doesn't matter because each pair consists of a royal flush card or an indifferent card. Okay, so we have, there's the queen of clubs and then the ace and so forth. So they're back in an alternating relationship with the other 5 cards. Well, because of that, you can Charlier shuffle this if you like, or randomly cut it. That would be just fine. Okay, and then I give you a chance to perform another 50% down under or under down. Okay, so maybe you do a down under this time. Well, as you can kind of figure out, it won't really matter which one you do because you'll be pulling out again the royal flush cards, right? Okay, so we can just randomly stack those actually as well. And then I did a final Klondike shuffle. Okay, this puts them back in an alternating relationship, which is really what we need because we're going to be dealing out a card to you, then me, you, then me. Okay, and I'm wanting to receive the royal flush in clubs. Okay, so after I did that, you may have caught it, I kind of like pretended to square up the cards on the table. Well, in fact, at this angle, I can see the cards like you see them right there. Okay, so it's really easy for me to spot that that is not a member of the royal flush and clubs. Well, if I deal to you first, which is customary, I'll be receiving this final card. So I'll be getting the bad hand. Okay, so what I did was I did a final packet reversal in the form of a first shall be last and the last shall be first. It's a very nice, cool way to reverse the cards without the spectator even cluing in. Okay, now if we had a royal flush member right here, I would not need to do this right here, this next step, and I wouldn't have needed to do it in the performance, but I saw that this bottom card was not a member of the royal flush. So I said, well, why don't we just give it a final mixing. I'll begin dealing out the cards until you say stop, and then I'll deal into a new pile. Maybe you say stop there. Maybe you say stop there, and that's fine. Okay? And then the key is you pick up in the opposite order to which they were dealt. That's why it's called first shall be last and last shall be first. And so it has the effect of reversing the order of the cards. That's all it does. And so now I see a member of the royal flush at the bottom. So when I deal them out into 2 piles, I am confident I will get the royal flush in clubs, and honestly I wouldn't really know what you're going to get, but probabilities on my side, you're not going to get a royal flush in some other suit or something. In fact, you really didn't get much of anything here, right? If you oh, you got a pair, so you got a pair again. Okay, you got 2 5s. Okay, so that's the secret, and this will work for you every time, and it really is quite mind-blowing. because of all of the free choices you're giving the spectator, but nonetheless, you come out on top and finish with the winning hand, and most likely the spectator will have either a very poor hand or maybe a decent one like a full house, but your royal flush will still beat it nonetheless. So thank you for watching, and take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.